Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to ToryTalks. This is Super Mario RPG, and here we are at Tadpole Pond. It's a great day. It's a great day. I'm just running around the pond. There's a lot of things going on here. I don't want to be there right now. Tadpole Pond is really cool. We get to hear a little bit about Mallow's backstory. We get to talk to some of these like crazy tadpole-looking dudes. Well, yes, you can help me. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the service economy. And so a very, very brief background is that kind of the way things used to work for the overwhelming majority of human history was that there were people, and then they would like grow some things out of the ground, and then they would trade them, or they would like have some livestock, and then they would butcher it and trade the meat. And basically there were raw materials, and people produced them and traded for them, and then used those raw materials to do the things they needed to do. There wasn't really, like, realtors, as we know them, weren't really a thing in 1804. You went and you got some land, and maybe you got the deed to the land from whoever it was owned by, if it was owned by the state or a bank or something, and then you would build a house on it. And that's not how it works today. If I want to build a house, I don't go to... I don't go to a vacant lot and just start building. I hire a contractor, and I talk to the bank about a loan or a mortgage or whatever. So the way that we do things has changed a lot. And the cool part about it is that it's allowed a lot of people to do a lot of different things. We can specialize our labor much more. There's this concept that I can never remember the name of it, but it's basically like the idea of technology. The curve of technology is, what's going on? All right, that was weird. The curve of technology is an asymptote, and an asymptote is a line that it's a curve, and as it approaches the vertical axis, it never quite gets to it. It never crosses the vertical axis. It think of a big curve, and it goes up, but it never gets there. And the farther along the x-axis you travel, the more the slope is increasing vertically. That's how like technology has been described. So you think about from the year 3000 BC to the year 1000 CE. They're really, like, people in the middle of nowhere were living in pretty much the same way. There were a couple things. There was, like, writing and some agricultural things, but really, for the most part, there were lots of similarities. But if you look at the difference between, say, 1900 and the year 2000, in that time, people started to fly in airplanes. There were jets. There were nuclear bombs. Like nuclear power became a thing. The advancements in medical technology, like 1900, polio just killed tons of people and affected tons of lives, and today it's basically extinct. Like 12 people have had polio in the last year. And then even from the year 2000 to today, from the kind of nascence of the internet and the dot-com bubble to just Twitter and Facebook and social media. And so technology is increasing like crazy, and we've seen that affect the way that we do economy a lot, and the way that we do the specialization of tasks. It will be quiet. Oh, cricket pie. So it allows us to get people who do really specific things. And that's really cool, and that allows for some really great things. But it also, we start getting to the point where, like, I don't know how to build a house. And 100 years ago, I probably would have learned all of the things that would have helped me to learn how to build a house, and I just can't do that. You know, I know how to swing a hammer, but I couldn't even think about beginning to start that task without researching or doing some kind of, like, asking somebody or reading a book, like How to Build a House for Dummies or something. Like, it's crazy. That it brings a lot of really good things. But today I want to focus on some of the really negative aspects of the service economy, and I don't think that this is a fatal flaw. Do I want it? Yeah. I don't think this is a fatal flaw, and these are where my sort of Marxist leanings stay only leanings, because I don't think that capitalism is a fatally flawed system. I think it allows us to do some really cool things, but we've got to do it more responsibly. One of the things is that, like, if you think about a real raw service economy, it doesn't leave a lot of room for empathy. If the point of a service is to be provided and to be the best, and you want to pay the least amount of whatever money for that service, it kind of leaves room for things being kind of ruthless. These are a lot of thoughts I had when I was waiting tables. There is room for people to, like, be kind, and I'd say of 30 tables, 20 would be unremarkable, 9 would be really especially nice, and then 1 would be just some jerk that just made you have a really terrible day. And I don't think that. I think the norm is like those 20 tables, and then those 9 people that were really nice kind of went above and beyond the idea of a service economy, and then one person just kind of took it to its logical conclusion. You're not giving me the thing that I want, and I'm paying for it. Then I have the right to not be satisfied with that, because I'm paying. It sort of elevates the idea of the means to pay for something to the most important part of a transaction. I'm going to do an episode pretty soon on commodity fetishism, and I think that these two ideas are really interlinked, because it kind of, Marx talks about commodity fetishism as it takes a really cool craft and a very specific thing, and then just takes the thing that comes from it and turns it into the goal. And that's what we talk about when, Louis C.K. says he doesn't even really like going to Starbucks anymore, because you just go and they press a button and then coffee comes out, and who cares? And then it excited him when he went to a coffee shop where the guy put a lot of work into it, and he ground the beans just for that one cup of coffee, and he frothed the milk for a while and put cocoa in it. So it's all of these things sort of intertwining, but like I said, I think that the service economy it's not fatally flawed, but there's just so many areas where the idea of it leaves too much room for an individual to be measured on their ability to provide or to do. I'm forgetting that box. I don't even remember what it is. I think it's just a flower tab. It's a difficult thing, because we're excited about all of the incredible things that have come from the idea of a service economy. Wow, that was easy. We've got the internet, and we've got people who come to your house to put a new windshield on your car, and people who will take your computer and put more memory in it, and all of these things. But I think at the heart of it, the idea is, how can the provider is saying, how can I get the most amount of return for the least amount of effort spent? And not in like a lazy way, but if you can make something that costs $10 for $5, you're going to do that instead of making something that costs $10 for $6. That's just good business. And also, as a consumer, you want to get the most of the object or service that you can for the least amount of money. You hear, heard this from my parents a lot. My mom and dad told me that there are things that you never skimp on, that you always pay more money. Shoes, teeth, food, and there's one other thing. I don't remember what it is. Pop-Tarts or something. Don't buy off-brand Pop-Tarts. Oh, he snuck out of there. And you hear people say like, oh, I paid a little bit more to get the real quality thing. And I think that the problem with the service economy and just the way we do our economy in general is that makes it difficult for people without means, for people who are kind of on the wrong end of income equality, to buy quality things. There are lots of, I'm not an economist, there are lots of things in force here, but I think it's something that we need to think about, the way that a service economy and a capitalist economy functions, and the way that it makes us think about products. So, anyway, I'm just going to run around here for a while. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, yes, this is a great part. This is a good place for me to stop. So we'll see you next time on Tory Talks.